Hi, my name is Shreya and I'm from the Charter School of Wilmington. Today we'll be doing an architect activity. Before we start building, let's take a moment to learn about two influential people in Black history. Moses and Calvin McCaskick were brothers born in Pulaski, Tennessee in the early 1920s and formed the first Black-owned architecture firm. They went on to design the Tuskegee Army Airfield in 1942, which was the largest project awarded to a Black-owned firm at the time. The firm still operates today and recently designed the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. All you're going to need for this is some cups and your imagination and your enthusiasm. So we're going to try to build the Colosseum and the Eiffel Tower today. So I have a couple of shapes of cups and sizes. I have pretty wide ones, smaller ones, and thinner ones. So let's talk about foundations. Foundations are super important for buildings. This is an example of a pyramid type foundation. And this is using a square base. Of course, since we have more surface area being covered with a square, it's going to be more durable. So we might prefer this kind of base when we're creating our structures later on. We prefer the base that has the most surface area being covered. So in this case, which one would it be? If you guessed the right side, you're correct. It's important to think about the goal of what you're trying to build. If you want to build a taller tower, then you want to choose taller cups. So in this case, option 1 or 3 are perfect for a taller tower. But let's think about which one we want to use for the base. Like we discussed, a cup that covers more surface area is more preferable for the base. And so the wider cup is the best option for the base. The thinner cup is perfect for stacking or perfect for the body of the structure because it's very light, so it won't weigh down the rest of the structure. Now let's talk a little bit about the science behind paper cup building. When architects build structures and buildings, they have to focus on shapes. Shapes build the foundation for a structure. Foundations are very important because they hold up the rest of the structure. When engineers design buildings, they have to think about what shapes to use for the foundation. A coliseum, for example, like we're working on here, is circular. So we want to use a round foundation and figure out how to continue developing the structure with the most durability. In this case, we are stacking the cups between the cups from the previous line. This is going to give us more support because the cups are going to have the base of 2 cups under each rather than just the support of 1 cup under each. So here I'm just stacking. It's a process of trial and error, so just do whatever works for you and the building that you want to make. I decided to do it asymmetrically because that's how the Colosseum is built. One side of the building is much taller than the other side, and so I replicated that when I was creating my own at-home structure. The Eiffel Tower is shaped a lot differently than the Rome Colosseum. The Eiffel Tower has a square base, so we want to start with the square and reduce the number of cups we use in each layer to show how the real tower thins towards the top. In the real world, architects create buildings by thinking about size, shape, colors, building materials, and many other factors. So building the Eiffel Tower was a lot more challenging for me because I had to experiment with different shapes of cups and different sizes because the Eiffel Tower is very tall and it does thin in shape as it gets towards the top, so it's a lot different than the way the Colosseum is shaped. So I had to experiment. I tried a couple times and I ended up with a design that worked for me. So I used thick cups in the bottom as my base like we talked about. I used thinner cups to build up, and then the smallest cups for adding detail at the top. And that's it. There's our at-home Eiffel Tower. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in. Bye!